A city just held a press conference to say it didn't give anyone Hantavirus. That's a first for this beat. If you're just joining, the MV Hondius cluster started with Hantavirus cases tied to a cruise itinerary through Argentina. Investigators are still sorting through three possibilities: exposure before boarding, exposure somewhere on the ship or along the route, or person-to-person spread of the Andes virus. They're matching incubation timing, Patagonia exposure histories, and multinational contact tracing to see which one fits.
This is Hantavirus Watch. Today, Ushuaia is pushing back on being called Ground Zero, and some Pennsylvania doctors finally spell out what this thing actually is. Sarah, does the denial come with data or a tourism logo? MV Hondius Andes virus cluster isn't over. Follow us wherever you're listening, and the next chapter comes to you.
This one's from BBC News.
On board were 114 passengers and 61 crew members from 22 countries. While the virus is believed to have come aboard there, its precise origin and the identity of those carrying it remains unclear. That uncertainty has fueled intense speculation in parts of the media.
So here's the update on the Hondius origin question. Ushuaia is pushing back publicly, and the target of the denial matters. The basic timeline still stands. The ship left from there on April 1st with 114 passengers and 61 crew. Ushuaia's pushback is aimed at the landfill on its outskirts, and the claim that the Andes virus jumped aboard there.
Right, and that landfill detail is wild. Tourists going out there to birdwatch, and the waste pulls in rats and mice. That's the leading hypothesis from Argentine officials, but they're only saying it anonymously.
That's the tell. The outbreak on the vessel is closed out. Passengers are being flown home from Tenerife now. The open piece is where the index case picked it up, and that's what the rat trapping work down there is trying to answer.
But look at what Ushuaia is actually offering. A whole city stands up to say, not us. And does the denial come with rodent reservoir data, genome work, anything? Or is it a tourism board defending the end-of-the-world brand?
Fair. The denial is reputational. The hypothesis is epidemiological. Those are two different arguments, and only one of them involves trapping rats. AOL writes,
The Andes virus is the only type of hantavirus that is known to spread person to person. This spread is usually limited to those who have close contact with the ill person. The Andes virus is primarily found in parts of South America, though there have been cases in the U.S.
Okay, this is the explainer I've wanted all week. Dr. Tirupathy and his med students at Keystone actually spell it out. Rodents, urine, droppings, saliva. That's the plain English I was after.
And notice what they do right. They name the strains. Andes is the one that spreads person to person, and only Andes, and only in close contact with someone already sick. That matters because Hantavirus, as a category, smears together very different biology. HPS from deer mice here, the Andes strain down in South America. Same word, different risk map.
Which loops us right back to Ushuaia, South America, Andes country, a city insisting it's not ground zero. You can't really separate the strain question from the geography question.
One caution on the piece. Symptoms can show up 1 to 8 weeks after contact. That's a wide window, and it's why a rodent exposure isn't something you shrug off after one clean weekend.
If you come to Hantavirus Watch for clear outbreak updates, try Measles Outbreak Daily. Daily U.S. measles case counts, MMR vaccine policy, and outbreak tracking for people who want real numbers. Find it wherever you listen. If you want to dig further into anything we covered today, you'll find links to every story in the show notes. Take a look there for the pieces that caught your ear. That's Hantavirus Watch for today. This is a Lantern podcast.